Hi, this is Dr. Ralph Wilson with Web Marketing Today. I'm in San Jose at the Search Engine Strategies Conference talking with Dave Evans, who's an expert in the area of social media. You've written a book. What's the name of the book?
The book is Social Media Marketing, An Hour a Day.
All right. Let's talk today about how to connect social media to your business.
Sure. One of the concepts that I begin with in the book is this basic notion of a feedback cycle between business and the experience that it creates, whether it's a product, service, small business, large business, and so on. The experience that it creates and the conversations that occur on the social web. And of course, these are simply conversations that have always occurred through word of mouth, but now we're able to look at these, understand them, dissect them, measure them, do a lot more things with it. But so we've got this basic relationship between what we do and what gets talked about.
Okay.
And there's a feedback cycle.
Well, tell me about the feedback cycle. What is it?
So we have, if you think about the purchase funnel, traditional advertising, traditional marketing, we have this concept of awareness leading to consideration when I think about what I know about now, and then my choosing to purchase it. We have word of mouth, offline, what we'd call offline word of mouth, where I'm thinking about something, I go talk to somebody maybe who is an expert in it or has used the product, or a neighbor or whatever, and I ask them about it, and I choose to make a purchase. Mm-hmm. Once I've made the purchase, I become part of that same word of mouth if somebody asks me about it.
Okay.
With the social web, we've got a much more direct channel now, where my very first experience with a product after I become aware of it will often be through the review mechanism, right? I'll search the web, I'll find reviews, ratings, recommendations, and those kinds of things, and almost immediately, as soon as I've heard of something, the very first thing that I'm doing or that a typical customer is doing is looking for information about whether this thing works, doesn't work, works for people like me, it may work great for someone else, and so on. So we've got this basic cycle between people that have purchased the product, what they've said about it, people who are thinking about buying the product and what they're about to do, and then we've got this cycle between the two, and it turns out that we can actually measure some fundamental points in that.
It's interesting now with the social web, marketers have a way to understand the buying process better because we can listen in on the conversations that people have and the things they wonder about it and the comments, whereas before a lot of times we were flying blind unless we were doing focus groups and that kind of thing. It's a great tool.
Exactly, and focus groups, I mean, they work well enough, but there's a difference between, for example, a focus group and actually just seeing what people say about a product with no motivation to be in a focus group, no selection process, no selection bias, and and all that sort of thing.
So we're connecting the social media to your business. The first step then is the feedback cycle and understanding that. What's the next step?
The next step is to look at what's being said and really understand what does this mean in terms of our product or service, the experience that we're creating. Are these things that we're in control of? Is this an issue, for example, that customers are complaining about that's driven by regulatory process that might have a 5 or 10 year time lag between we become aware of it and we can actually do something about it? Or is this something that we're doing directly? Is there something about our customer service team that is making people feel wonderful about us? Or is there something about our product that, competitively we really need to fix and we've either been blind to it or ignored it or just didn't realize it? That now that we have this, and we've actually got direct control over it, so we can fix it relatively quickly. So it's understanding what is the issue, positive or negative. Remember, very often what we learn on the social web is what not to fix, right? We'll find the things that people love about us, and we want to make sure that we don't fix those in the process of correcting something else.
Right. So connecting all this to your business is the goal.
Absolutely.
And improving your business so that you can stay on top and stay ahead of your competitors.
Yes, I mean, what it all comes down to, Fred Reichheld talks in depth about this in his book, The Ultimate Question. What it all comes down to is generating favorable recommendations, generating people who will highly recommend you and so on, and then using that to drive your long-term business. When you have that working for you, it turns out that this favorable recommendation process becomes a huge competitive advantage. If we don't have favorable recommendations, then as marketers, we're continually spending to generate awareness. We're lighting all these little fires all over the place and hoping that they sort of catch. When we have people that are actively recommending us, we light the fire one time and then it sort of takes over on itself and it becomes this desire for our products and services to sort of permeate. That means that's money that we don't have to continue to spend. We can put that into product development, into research, into expanding, you get the picture.
Very good. And I get it better by listening to you.
Thank
I
you.
read your
Thank you.
column in ClickZ, and I find that helpful in some of the things. And I encourage my readers and viewers to your column. Tell me about you and your business, what you do.
In my business, I serve as a strategic advisor, either to brands directly, or I work with PR agencies, with advertising agencies and so on integrating social media into the overall practice. So whether it's a brand and understanding how to listen, how to take that, how to develop a social media strategy, not the tactics themselves, but the strategy that shapes how we use this, or as an agency, as a PR agency or something like that, in developing the overall product offering, working in both of those regards. And then, as you noted, I write for ClickZ and I'm a book author as well. So.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate you taking time to share with us. This is Ralph Wilson with Web Marketing Today.